All right, all right. Welcome to the Real Estate Blog Podcast, where we bring on the guest to ask them the hard questions by taking a deep dive into how they built their teams, marketing strategies, systems, and processes on how they built a machine that spits out consistent deals month after month. Where we give you the value during this show to help you create and find consistent deal flows. Today, I have my good friend Matthew on the show. What's up, man?
How's it going?
Hey, man. Tell us who you are. What were you doing prior to real estate, and why the heck did you get into this world of real estate?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I am a full-time real estate investor based out of the Allentown, Pennsylvania area, about an hour and a half from New York, hour north of Philly.
Okay.
And before that, for 12 years, I was a practicing chemical engineer. So went to engineering school, did a Spanish degree as well. And I caught the real estate bug during that time. So I'm kind of one of those from W-2 to full-time real estate type guys. And so I'm happy to share how I did it.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to school. You caught the bug. I mean, there's a lot of story behind that. Tell me the early stages of your story.
Yeah, sure. So actually, real estate investing for me didn't even start in the United States. So I graduated from college. I was working for 3 years, and then I did a Fulbright scholarship in Spain. I went to business school, and
wow.
so I learned about real estate not even here, and it just made sense to me. You know, I never really understood stocks and bonds, and we did a module on debt, and it really resonated with me how I could use rental income to pay off a mortgage. And that was in the first couple classes of my master's. And I just couldn't wait to get back to the US to start investing.
Oh, that's incredible. So you're in Spain, going to school. Was it Barcelona?
Madrid.
Nice. I've been to Barcelona. So that's all I know about Spain.
I mean, that's a lot. It's good. It's a good city. So,
okay. So you're taking this class, dude. And, about real estate and some investing stuff. I mean, you couldn't wait to get back to the States. I mean, is there a reason why you didn't want to start investing while you're in Spain? And then what happened when you did get back to the States?
Yeah, so as a student, and it's a little tricky being international, and the way that my visa was structured, it was going to be tough for me to buy there. But I already had a network back here in the US. I knew that once I got back, I had grown up in this area actually, so I could just I knew I could hit the ground running. So I took the remaining 9 months. I did the academic stuff, built on my undergrad, and I was just ready to rip once I got back. So that was 2014. So it's been almost 10 years now.
Okay. So, I mean, you said you were at 9 to 5, W-2, and then you went to real estate. So I'm guessing you got a job when you got back, right?
That's right. Yep, that's right. So I went back into it's a big chemical company, and I went back into an operations role. So I went from business school back to grinding it out and getting stuff done on the operations side for a big company.
Okay, so tell me about that. So you're working hard. Did you start a family? Did you already have a family? And then how long were you with that company? And then again, when did that bug actually take place?
Yeah, so for bankability reasons, and so this is 2014.
Oh yeah.
So lenders were still like, they were warming up to real estate again, but having that W-2 income, and it just really helped get the loans in the beginning. They like that consistent W-2. So I double hatted for almost 9 years. So
Okay.
my wife and I met in 2014 as well. So we have all those, I actually this morning, I just saw one of those pictures pop up of us, painting in our first apartment and stuff like that,
Oh,
good
nice.
memories. So, now we have a 1.5-year-old son, and I left my job at the end of 2022. So.
Oh man, you just left.
Oh yeah, I'm fresh off the boat.
So what? I mean, so what kind of investing do you do? I mean, so a lot of people on this show, I would say primarily, like wholesale and flip. And it's, we have people that I'm starting to bring a lot more people that are buying and hold. So you have this 9 to 5 job, great job. You decided to say, hey, I need that W-2 income to obviously be bankable. And that's an issue that I had when I first started. I quit my job too quick. And then I realized, I need 2 years of tax returns.
Yep.
So and nobody talks about that. And the moment I actually, the day, the hour I filed, I bought a house like that second year. So okay. So I mean, what is your what did your operation look like? I mean, give me the deep scoop of your motivation, because you're right now it just sounds like, oh, that's easy. I can keep my job, go do my, buy a bunch of houses. I mean, what did that journey look like as you were growing into your rental portfolio?
Yeah, I mean that's a great question, and yeah, and just to clarify as well, I don't do any flips or wholesales. It's all
Okay,
just buy and hold.
just buy and
We
hold.
don't have any investors. It's just me and my wife. So we're small and nimble, but we're agile. So I guess I guess maybe going back is, and maybe getting a little personal. When I was growing
No,
up,
I want you to get super personal, dude. Tell
yeah,
us
yeah,
about it.
sure.
Give us the nitty gritty.
Yeah, sure. So when I was growing up, there were some things I wanted to do, and we weren't we weren't lacking in things, but I wanted to do different things, and I guess in order to do those things, I needed um, to a degree, kind of like sell candles or sell different stuff for fundraising, and we didn't have anything given to us as kids
Mhm.
in terms of like making things easy. So I always had that drive to, oh, I want to go to the summer camp, or I want to go to, I remember we were going door to door selling candles so we could go to the United Kingdom to play soccer. So I always equated getting things that I wanted to do and finding an entrepreneurial way to get to those things. So it started with selling candles and car washes and different things, and eventually that's when the real estate bug bit me, because I wanted to travel internationally. I wanted to live in Spain. I wanted to live in Europe. I've been to over 35 countries. So I've wanted to do those things, but it requires financial means. So that was the why for me. I just wanted to be able to be free and do the things that I wanted to do. I speak another language. I play instruments. I have a lot of these diverse interests, and I wanted to be able to pursue them. And I didn't want to be limited by an employer. So, ironically, I spent 9 years. The joke about entrepreneurs is we work 80 hours a week, so we don't have to work 40. So,
Mhm.
I spent a long time double hatting, but I'm finally getting to that place where I have that wherewithal to buy these rentals and travel and do what we want to do as a family. So.
Awesome. Well, let me ask you this, Matthew. How long did it take you to get your first deal, and what did your first deal look like?
So the first deal was a single family property in Allentown. I had been looking for about maybe 4 or 5 months with a couple of real estate agents, and then one came up. It was a tired landlord. I got a good price on it through the agent, and that was back when you
Mhm.
could do that through agents. I guess you still can, but
Yep.
depending on where you are. But at the time, it was easier here, and I purchased it. I think I paid 42,000 for it, and
Oh man.
I think it rented for 975, and it was just a good deal. So
What? How
yeah,
did you find the funds to bring it down?
yeah. So I actually I refinanced my car, so I had it
Oh
free and
wow.
clear. So I refied it earlier in the year, and I had saved up a little bit for my job.
There you go, right there. That's the gold nugget. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So you
Yep,
refinanced
yep,
your car, you pulled out some capital, you put it down. Did
yep.
that now you have it as rental? I mean, did it go super smooth and closed on it, and you got to keep it and made you a millionaire after that? After that?
Yeah, no, it was instant success. No, just kidding. It was no, it was a slow process. So I remember the first contractor I had didn't work out, and I was thinking to myself, well, this was supposed to be. We agreed to it. How come he didn't do what he was supposed to do? And then I found someone else, and then my wife and I ended up girlfriend at the time. We ended up staging that property to make it. She and I were there making it nice, and putting different stuff in there so that the tenants would like it and stuff. And
Very cool.
just a slow grind over time. I had a property manager for that one.
Okay.
So we didn't self-manage, although we got up to managing like 10 units ourselves before we hired management full time, except for that one. It was
Right.
just in a rougher area. I didn't want to manage it.
Well,
Um,
where did you learn to get up to, I mean, let's talk about that early stages to get up to 10 units. Did you just listen to Bigger Pockets and you were good? Did you hire a coach? Did you take any courses? What did that look like? And what were those coaches and courses?
yeah, that's a great question. So actually, you touch on the thing, which was Bigger Pockets, Get Rich Education with Keith Weinhold. But really, I mean, I was just I was reading all the books, all the podcasts, all the big ones that you could list off on the show. I'm sure everyone said, I was just devouring that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I learned. So, like I said, I refinanced my car. I took a loan. So then I did an FHA. I took like a loan for my 401k to do it. Or it might've been a distribution that was tax free. I forget, but anyway, so I used my 401k. And I was just like, I was just spending nothing. Like before I was like living in my friend's basement, and I was like spending no money, and I was saving everything I could so that I could dump it into real estate. So I was just probably too disciplined, frankly. Just I was too focused probably, but I grew a lot, and I didn't spend anything, and it allowed me to buy properties.
That's awesome. And you basically said that agents were coming to you to bring the properties.
Yep. So at the time, yeah, I mean, agents were they were finding deals on the MLS. There were foreclosures and stuff like that. I was a part of a group that would go around. So every weekend, and I should have said this before, but every weekend I would wake up. So like, while all my friends were probably hungover or whatever, they were, sleeping until 10 a.m. I was up
Yep.
at 6 a.m. I was getting breakfast with a group of investors, and we'd go around and see these foreclosures. And
Oh,
then if they
wow.
made sense, one of us would make an offer on them, or multiple, whatever. So, yeah, so that's what I was doing with my Saturday mornings.
That's very cool, man.
Yeah.
So you refinance out of it. You pull money out of your car or your truck,
Yep.
and you put it into this first property. Now, did you just refinance out of that first property to get your second property? How did you like? And basically, what I'm trying to get at is, how did you break through the struggle of doing 1 to 2 deals, here and there, to
Hmm.
doing consistent deal flow, and especially deals
Right.
on rentals?
Right. So, the next property that I bought was a 4-unit FHA, and that helped me scale, but that was just one property. So really getting to the
Wow.
root of your question, the next property that I bought it well under market. It was a 2-unit. I paid 80,000 or something like that for it. And I had to leave a certain amount in the deal for a time, but then a year later, I refinanced it. I didn't have a prepay, and I got all of my money back
Oh,
on
wow.
that 2-unit. So that was because I did all the work, and that was another one. My wife and I were in there doing the work, and like, I'm not a handy guy, but like, we did it, we got it done.
Yeah.
We rented it, and then we refied the next year. And over time, we would always purchase from either a distressed seller or a distressed property, and we'd get enough of a discount where we could like basically do the Burr method
Right.
and refinance in at first the banks wanted like 9 months or a year of seasoning, and I just kept grinding them down to like 6 months, and then 3 months, and pretty soon, like, as long as the work was done in their releases, they would do it. And then they would refinance. I'd get all my capital out, and I'd go and do the next deal. And then after like 6 years, we sold that first property and took all the equity, and then started doing the Burr method with that. So it was kind of like two pronged. Until we started selling, we would refi and get our capital back, and now we're selling what we already refied and got our capital back to get more capital. So it kind of builds on itself.
No, for sure. Do you think that the MERB method's still working in this market?
It does if you find a good enough deal. Yeah, I mean, we're finding them all the time.
Mm.
It's just a matter of what's your marketing like? I mean, is your digital marketing good? Are you just doing letters, cold calling? Are you doing deal machine stuff, driving for dollars? Like, are you
Mhm.
consistently doing the thing? Like, what's your thing, and are you consistently doing it? Because we're finding them, and Bird works for us. So I mean, it's out there. They're possible.
What advice would you give somebody trying to get multiple units? So that person that is bankable, he has one
Mhm.
or two rentals.
Yep.
What would you tell that person as advice to get like that big momentum on his side?
Yep. It all comes down to the deal. So
Okay.
the steeper of a discount you can get, the more likely lenders are to lend against that asset, because they have a lot more collateral compared to the mortgage. So finding good deals is what it's all about, and it's tough right now. It depends on
Okay.
your market, but and it's tough. Like, I know it's tough because I lived it, and you're trying to work your day job, and now you're trying to find deals, but like, are you ducking into conference rooms to talk to these sellers? Like, what are you doing? So it's tough, but if
I
you're
like
looking to grow and scale, you gotta, it all starts with the deal.
Awesome. So, I mean, there's two things there that I want to hit on. So, obviously, we got to learn how to find lots of deals,
Mhm.
and we'll get to that. But I like how you said ducking in the office and talking to a
Yeah.
seller. I'm guessing you've done that.
No, never. Yeah, I've done that.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's yeah.
I've done it when I was working at the fire department, and when I was just starting, I'd have direct mail pieces go out or whatever, and yeah, I would run into the back of the fire department and take that call, and
Yep.
I got in trouble a couple times. Got called to the chief's office and said, "Hey, man, you can't be working on your business here."
Yep. Yeah,
So
yeah. That
go on.
happened to
Do you have
me.
some?
Something similar happened to me. Not exactly the same. They didn't say no, but they kind of said shut the door or something. But yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. So yeah.
Let me ask you this, Matthew. What does your team look like now?
Yeah. So I have a full-time lead manager that answers phones and does our social media. I have a full-time marketing and documentation coordinator. I have a part-time lead manager, an intern, and then indirectly we employ. So we hire a third party manager. We probably hire 10 people indirectly. They're not on our payroll, but just to
Right,
manage
right.
all their stuff.
Yeah.
And then we have 1099 people that do different searches for us, and they're running public searches and all these things. So there's probably two of those.
Awesome. So my next question is going to be basically about marketing, and I think that's what you're going to be telling us on how to get consistent rentals. Because prior we talked about that you are only focused on buy and hold
Yes.
investment properties. Right? Before I go on, how many rentals do you have now, or doors do you have now?
So it's over 75 doors.
Beautiful. That's awesome, man.
Mhm.
So basically, to get that deal flow, to get 75 doors, we're probably going to need marketing.
Yep.
Right. And then also, are you big on private money to bring
So
these doors down?
yeah, in the beginning, we did a lot of hard money loans. We don't do any like, but they're some like pseudo institutional. It's not like,
Hmm.
someone lending their 401k or something. But we did a lot of hard money loans to start. In fact, I still do them.
Awesome. Awesome. So that goes to my next question, Matthew. How are you marketing to these homeowners to take them down as rentals?
Yeah, yep, yep. And before I get to that, I just wanted to emphasize that it could be 5 or 6 units a year, and as long as you're doing it consistently over time, you can
Right.
build a strong business. So to get those consistent leads, I've been sending letters directly to the owners in the Lehigh Valley for almost 6 years. So a lot of direct mail. Now that I left my job, I'm now doing a lot more digital stuff. Like I never would have done this podcast when I had a full-time job. So now I'm doing a lot more digital stuff, and we're
Yeah.
building our brand online. I was doing some driving for dollars, but I stopped that. So
Okay.
it's mostly direct mail and digital, like Google Ads, Facebook ads, and SEO.
I was just about to ask, when you say digital, what do you mean? And yeah, we found that out too, man. We pivoted to PPC hard, and
Mm,
we're crushing it. And I
mm.
think that's just where the time's going, man.
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
agree. Totally agree. Yeah. Yep.
Matter of fact, we're coming into our next month. Me and my wife were talking about we had our level 10, and we were just wondering where do we want to put our additional marketing funds for this next month, because we're going to be up in our marketing pretty heavily. And we were thinking about putting them in direct mail. We've done a little bit of direct mail. We've had some pretty good returns, but we know exactly what PPC brings, so we're just going to like dump it into PPC,
Yeah. Yeah.
even
Yeah.
even harder. And we're gonna throughout the year we are gonna pick up our direct mail. We do a little bit direct mail to pre foreclosures. Who are you guys targeting with your direct mail piece?
So it's basically all the most common recipients of those letters. It's the pre-foreclosure stuff, it's the delinquent tax stuff, it's any municipal filing, like they didn't pay the trash bill, they didn't pay the school tax, that type of stuff. Probate, divorce with property, credit card judgments with property,
Oh wow.
IRS liens, PA Department of Revenue liens, and other stuff like that. It's basically like who owes someone money and has a property. Like
Right, right.
that's the people that we're looking for.
Where are you guys pulling this data from?
Each county has their own website, so I can't like
Mm,
answer specifically for everyone in the audience, but so it's going to depend on your county. But like there, it's basically through the court system, the local court system in your area,
there you go. And
and
obviously
there's
that's,
online websites. So yep.
yep, that's across the board. Where you're gonna get the best
Mhm.
data, right? Is that those online? I mean, the county.
Right.
Who's is somebody like running to the county? Or are you just going onto the websites?
Most of the time, it's online on the websites. One county near us, for certain searches, you have to like have a profile, and they're really like picky about it. But generally, it's all online.
That goes to my next question. So there's when you send out direct mail, one, how much direct mail are you sending to get a deal? Because it looks like our only exit strategy right now is buy and hold, right? We want to build our rental portfolio. So
Mhm.
how much direct mail are you sending out to get your next rental?
Yeah, usually, I think last year on average it was around $6,000 a spend. So I think it was
Mm.
around 4,000 or 3,500 ish letters, which is actually really good.
Yeah.
So but it ebbs and flows. Like right now, it's a lot higher. So I don't know. I don't know if it's like a market thing right now, and I've seen it fluctuate over time. So I just keep sending them. So
Nice.
either
Yeah, that's
that or
what
everyone just throws them all out because they're so tired of hearing from us.
yep, yep. Yeah, for us, it's about 6,000 postcards per deal here in Southern California, which is, I mean,
Okay.
it's not bad because, when you send out 6,000 postcards, I mean, you get a nice little ripper. I mean, we're strict transactional right now, but we
Mhm.
will, because I've been in this business 3 years. We're moving on to our fourth right now. So we went really transactional heavy so I could build capital, build a like high income, right, to get a high massive passive income. And so
Mhm.
that's kind of what we're going to be working on. And you'll be getting a call from me on how to, collect some rentals here.
Sure,
Uh,
yeah. Yeah.
I, I think my biggest struggle has been, I'm just be honest, anybody who's in California is, because I have to possibly go buy rentals outside of California. Now that could be a limited belief, but I just know, we're not tenant friendly. Sorry, we're not landlord friendly out here. The taxes are crazy out here, and so forth. So I know, and also the ROI, 1% rule definitely doesn't work out here. So are you are you buying any rentals virtually, or is this are all the rentals in your backyard?
They are almost all in my backyard. I think
Okay,
the furthest one away is an hour.
okay, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't go to those. In fact, I almost never go. I only go to them like once or twice when I buy them, and then my manager takes over. But
Okay.
um, yeah, I would say it's probably is a little bit of a limiting belief because like there are different services and things where you can well, I mean, I get actually, I should say not limiting in the sense that I think it's probably a good idea to go outside of California for rentals. I mean, you can probably find good ones in California, but if you're looking to do things remotely, I always struggled with the limiting belief myself of that I need these properties in my back door or my backyard. I don't
Hmm.
think you need to, especially like in your case, but that's how I've always done it. But I'm trying to, as I grow a team, I'm trying to let them do more. So that's definitely something I'm working on is a limiting belief for me.
For
I don't
sure.
need to like go see the property myself.
Yeah, because
So
you're going in there and like I said, the whole burr, right? You're going in there, repairs, bringing that contractors on each property, right? I
right,
mean, what is your base? What would you say that your basic repairs are when you go into a property? Now, I'm coming at you as a beginner on person who does buy and hold. Like I said, we do multiple transactions a month right now. I mean, we got 21 in escrow right now, but
nice,
I'm
congrats.
I'm totally looking back at it. And I'm probably going to be kicking myself in the butt and say, hey, why don't you keep two of those? You know what I mean? And that's okay. I've come to the realization that next year is where I really want to start buying rentals.
Mm,
If not next year, the end of this year, so I could get some tax write offs, right, for all the income that we are going to get this year. But I know that we're going to be starting to really build our rental portfolio, and we just got to figure out where we want. I just want to build this team out first.
hmm.
But what is your like from day one? So when you get the property under contract, you got your hard money, you go in with your contracts. I mean, what's the whole process look like? Are you taking anything down that needs a lot of repairs, or just kind of like minimal repairs?
Usually, so the process would look like a finding a property that needs, I would say, minor to average amounts of work. So I'm probably pulling like 1 to 2 permits. It's probably like a plumbing permit and some electrical work. and it's probably windows and kitchen, baths. That would be the most. On average, it's usually flooring paint, some windows, and the kitchen. Generally, it's not too much more than that. I try to stay away from like complete rehabs or completely redoing anything, just because it just elongates the cycle that the capital is stuck. So I like to get in and out fast and get it rented and then move on to the next one. So I'm not doing fire jobs or massive, you know, I'm not doing zoning stuff where I'm like converting to, 6 units from 3, or I'm not doing that stuff. It just takes too long.
Gotcha. So you said that you left your job 2022.
Yep.
Why 2022? Why didn't you just stay? What's going on? I mean, what made you decide to finally move on?
Yeah. Well, we have our son. So I wanted to spend, family is extremely important to me. So I came to a point where I had to choose job, my family, or deals. And I didn't want to give up my family. I didn't want to give up deals.
Right?
So I had to give up my job. It's like, and then the fourth thing I could have given up was sleep, but I wasn't willing to give that up either.
I don't think we can give that one up.
Yeah, no, it's like there's health issues with that. So I decided, look, and I knew at that point that I was going to be bankable. I had a track record. I had been doing things for almost 10 years. I have good relationships with my lenders, and I just figured, look, let's just give this a go. And it's been great. I've been able to do more deals because I'm focused on them, as opposed to
hiding in the back,
grinding on that whatever spreadsheet. Yeah, like grinding on that spreadsheet, and then it's like, you miss 3 calls and you can't call them back, and then you
oh, it's the worst.
Lose deals. Yeah. So
no, that's awesome, man. I mean, congratulations on leaving that W-2 to pursue more deals. Now, obviously, not everybody's gonna agree with that, but I like that. I like that you're doing more deals, man, and I like that you have that ability to do more deals so you can spend more time with your family. It's like,
right.
We do work hard, we do work long hours, but the thing is, what people don't understand is we're working almost when we're with our family, right? Especially if your partner's with your wife, right? My wife's my partner as well, and we always have business meetings, right? At our dinner table, when we're watching a show, or when we get home, or in the morning, or when we're having a glass of wine. I mean, those are meetings, man. I write those off.
Yeah, you should. Yeah,
So
you should.
no, absolutely. So those are the especially with our employees. They don't not necessarily see that, right? They might just see that when we're in the office. I mean, we're constantly thinking, we're constantly moving. Now, obviously, there's a balance, right? You want your whole life and your relationship with your wife to be like that. But if you guys just love it, that, like me and my wife love just talking about real estate and how to grow and stuff like that. So it actually brings us closer.
Yeah, it's great that you're on the same page and that you're able to collaborate. That's it's fantastic. That's so great. Yeah.
No, well, that's awesome. And again, congratulations on your son, man. I'm sure you're super happy to be home with them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Matthew, let me ask you this right now. Now that you've quit your job, what is your number one struggle, just in general in life right now?
So business wise, it is definitely having enough operation support to handle the deal flow. So I rolled out, preparing to leave last year, I rolled out a CRM. So we use LeftMain, love LeftMain. I'm a data guy, so I'm a super believer in that product. And so just training my team on using the CRM, getting direct mail rolled out so we can do it systematically, building procedures. I do Loom videos every day. I'm just recording everything I do, but getting like sustainable where I have training content in a repository so that it's not always like I'm not getting all the questions. It's like, go see the video, So that's the biggest struggle, is just having that horsepower behind the deal flow to execute. And are we calling back, and how soon, on what frequency are we measuring that? What's the time between when we missed a call to when we call back? Like all that stuff, we're still not world class at, but we're getting there.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, we have LeftMain too. Are you in CG?
No, I'm in Investor Fuel.
Oh, nice, cool.
Yeah.
LeftMain is great. Let me actually a little story about LeftMain. I'm totally messed up, like a lot of us do. I get like some Indian guy to mess it all up, and because I thought I wanted it a certain way, and I was like, Oh yeah. So now, anyways, we got to get somebody in. We're going to be dropping like 18, 20 grand here next month just to redo it. So anyways,
Oh man, sorry to hear that, dude. You should
nah,
get Premier support to maybe they can help you out, or maybe it's too big of a project. I don't know.
no, it's not. Sorry, it's not to fix it. It's to build it. And
Mm.
so I have a coach, and I basically just want it exactly like his. And he sent me over the developer that is doing it, and I said, yeah, make my left main look exactly like his. And he's like, all right, cool. It's going to cost us. Okay, perfect. Um,
Great,
what
awesome.
are what are the strategies that you are going to be using to get through this recession or whatever you want to call it, to come out even better and stronger on the other side?
Yeah, I mean, it really just comes down to having dry powder, so liquidity. Like that's the best safety net is just having liquid cash. So maintaining reserves, and then
Mm,
also just really the deals that I do, making sure that they're conservative enough where if rents drop or if values drop, like doing enough of that review to make sure that the properties are purchased right going in. So doing the right
mm,
deals with the right amount of reserves is what I'm all about. I mean, I'm selling like 6 or so units to just raise more capital for reserves, but also for dry
that's
powder
smart.
for deals.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
Yeah,
so yep,
that
yep.
was actually advice that we got as well. So all people that had rentals, if you need help, especially because we were just swimming in the dough right last year. Um,
Yeah, all the
that's who
money floating around. Yeah,
that was just it was just coming in like crazy. Now we're still, to me, we're now, I mean, we're still in a good market. We were just in a fairy tale market last year and
yeah.
possibly the year prior. But yeah, a lot of people were selling rentals to make sure that we got the reserves. And for us as a transactional company, we just, I mean, we had to cut costs heavily where it was at. We pivoted a lot, but because we did it and we did it fast, we were able to survive. I think the worst of it. Hopefully, that's the worst of it.
Hmm.
Obviously, everybody has their opinions if we're in the eye of the storm or if the worst is coming. So, um, let me ask you this, Matthew. So we have 75 rentals now. We have a growing team. You just quit your 9 to 5 job. What's your picture perfect model business, and where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years?
Basically, doing the same thing I have been doing, which is investing in the 1 to 5, 1 to 6 family space.
Mm,
When you're purchasing, so I mean, there's all different types of ways to invest in real estate, but when you are buying homes that it costs double to build new, and it's workforce housing, there's no competition. Who else can build the product? They can't. Like these single family homes are selling for 150. It costs 300 to build them new, even townhouses.
oh wow.
Developers can't build them. And there's obsolescence issues with the existing homes, whether it's, electrical systems or heating systems, roofs, like all this stuff is getting older and older and older in these urban cores. So there's no way to produce more supply, and there's growing demand. uh, Especially in recessions, there's more competition for rentals because people can't buy. Um,
Mm,
I don't see. I just don't see there being a reverse in this imbalance. There's more and more people that can't afford to buy, or are struggling financially, and you can't build the stuff they have to live in. So I'm not leaving this niche. I just see too much potential. There's so much value that we add to the community and the families by running this stuff and rehabbing this stuff. There's almost infinite demand. I just can't see myself getting out to like self storage or retail or commercial or. And the nice thing too is your end buyer is a family generally or someone doing an FHA loan, so they're putting little down, which inflates the price.
hmm.
So the exit strategy is solid as well.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Matthew. What have you listened to or read that's just inspired you?
Oh man, I mean, so much stuff. Right now, I'm reading "Buy Back Your Time" by Dan Martell,
Okay.
and it kind of speaks to where I'm at in my business. I said before, like I'm struggling with getting the people and procedures and people trained and onboarded. Not that it's a struggle; it's a normal thing. But that book is basically all about calculating your buyback rate and saying, well, if I make X per hour and 4 divided by X, anything below that I should hire out, and then you need to like record yourself and make procedures, and
Yeah.
so that book is great, great, great stuff for anyone who is looking to grow a business.
That's awesome, man. And is that what kind of got you starting to like record a lot of looms?
Yeah, I mean, I had done it before. I was starting to do it, but now I like doubled down on it.
No, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to be doing. Is definitely record yourself as you start, especially as you start
Yeah.
growing. One thing you'll find as you grow, you'll start re-recording those certain procedures and stuff. But it's fine. One thing too now is even with my team members, I'm having them record what they do, right?
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
So I'm just
that's
like,
good.
hey, I need you to record this, especially as we start growing our team.
That's
Let me
great.
ask.
I didn't even think of that because now I'm still kind of like the operations lead, so I'm
Mm,
definitely going to use that as my team seasons. Like uh, the one person, her first day was last Monday, and the person before that was like 3 or 4 months ago. So they don't have the expertise yet. But next
mhm,
year, they're gonna be all over that.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
good
Let me
stuff.
ask you let me ask
Yeah.
you this, Matthew. What is one myth about real estate that you would like or think to debunk?
It's not passive. Like people talk about passive income and they say, oh, like I'll just collect the rent and like have financial freedom. And they'll think that, oh, if I just buy like 6 houses, I'm good. And like, while it's true that, maybe over time, that's fine, it's not passive and
Mhm.
stuff's going to break and you're going to have to coordinate stuff and you're going to have to deal with tenant issues and other things. So it's a lot more passive and scalable than like working a full-time job where you're trading your time for dollars, but don't expect it to be passive. that's that's what I it's just
Are
not
you
passive.
are you like losing any money on deals right now? So I'm sure you have this collective amount that you're bringing in to your business, um, per month from all your 75 rentals. I mean, do you have these like rentals that are just crushing the bottom line, and you're just like, hey, I just need to sell this?
Some of them, usually the ones that I rehabbed like 6 or 7 years ago that a tenant moves out, now they need a rehab again. I
Mm,
might just like, I might just say, well, if it's going to be 20K to rehab this, should I just sell it? Not as is, like I'll still do the work, but like
for
how long
sure.
is it going to take me to get that 20K back if I rent it? And also how much should it appreciate? And should I just sell it and take the profits? But yeah, I mean, generally, like the properties will go in cycles, and you could be using the proceeds from 80% of the portfolio that month to pay for a new roof somewhere else. So it's kind of, you just have to be careful that you're watching your repairs and capex budget. People forget that all the time. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, 5% repairs, I'm good. Meanwhile, it's a 120-year-old home and you have to replace the roof, and there's your cash flow for 3 years. It all goes away, right? So,
Right. Right.
yeah.
What would you do in a situation like that?
Well, I prepare before, so I just pretty much reinvest all the proceeds from the cash flow either back into the property or to buy more properties at a
Right.
discount,
Right.
um, so that I'm prepared, and I just maintain solid reserves. I try to maintain, like as a rule of thumb for your audience, I try to maintain 5% of my total asset value
Okay.
of reserves at any point. And that's like bottom line. Like I don't
Right.
go below that to do deal, like maybe temporarily to do a deal if I'm selling something else and it's going to be 30 days or whatever, but I really try to stick to that minimum amount because you don't want to stretch yourself too thin. It's just not worth the sleepless nights.
No, 100%. Do you get blown up by wholesalers and everything trying to buy your properties?
I mean, I get I get a text every day. I get a call. Like I get letters, and fortunately, the mail goes to my manager, so I don't have to deal with that. But yeah, and then like you know, people responding to ads like, "Oh, could you add me to your buyers list, or do you have anything you're
Hmm.
wholesaling?" Like you probably see that if you're doubling down, tripling down on PPC, you probably get contacted all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah. We get those wholesalers that. Well, the funny ones is so I'm okay if a wholesaler wants to come and make us spend $200 on a click, but or a conversion. But you need to have the contract, man. So we'll get wholesalers that say like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to see if you guys would buy this property." I'm like, "Oh great, let's take a look at it." "Oh, you don't have the contract yet?" Oh, they're like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna go see them tomorrow." And I was
You're
like,
like,
"Come
you're
on,
like,
dude."
dude,
Like we can help you out, man, but you got a long ways to go, man.
Yeah. There's literally like 95% of the work to do. Yeah.
And we'll try to take a step further. I try not to get too mad at them because I try to educate them a little bit. Like, hey, man, these these ads, and possibly you one day will be on these ads, having these ads, and every time somebody clicks on it, you're spending me a couple $100, man.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm happy to talk, but like, hopefully you have it signed first next time. Yeah.
Yeah. So because we really try to work with that, doing JV deals and stuff like that. Are you partnering with anybody to take down rentals?
No, it's we're solely it's just me and my wife. So we don't really work. We did, so we have like collaborations, I guess you could say, where actually over 20 units that I've purchased over the years have
Oh
been
wow.
referrals from another two investors. And I'm actually I have a part of a portfolio that I'm selling back to them.
Okay.
Because it's a specific type of, it's a specific type of property that I don't want to be in that business. So I'm selling. They actually specialize in that type of business. So I'm selling it back. So I don't like directly partner, but I refer deals and they refer deals to me.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
what I was going to say too, you said a discount. So you buy your properties at a discount. What kind of discount are you looking for when you buy a rental property?
So one of the things that differentiates my company from other companies is that there's no like third party middle person needing to make a profit off of a flip or a wholesale. So
Mhm.
generally, I'm looking at just enough of a discount so that I can get all of my capital back on a refi.
Okay.
So generally, that means I can offer more than my competition
Right.
because they need to make they want to make a profit on it, where I'm kind of waiting and just I want to get my capital back. So they might need like a 35 or 40% discount to do the repairs and rehab, where I might need like a 30 to 35,
Got-
because I'm keeping it. Like I don't need to make a fee, or no one needs to make a profit on a flip. I'm just keeping it.
For
So
sure.
and I really only look to get all my capital back. So usually that's like an 80% loan to value. So
Oh,
if I'm in 80% of what the appraised value is, that's generally what I'm buying at. Whereas that's kind of skinny for a flipper.
yeah, for sure. That's a big gold nugget here. Is if you're looking for buyers, your landlords are going to be your best buyers, right?
Oh
So,
yeah. Tired landlords, they don't want to do the turnover. They just want to sell to you at a discount. They know it, but then you do the
mhm.
repairs. Yep.
So when I so okay, so you're buying at 80 cents on the dollar. I mean, where's that repairs coming in? So are you trying to look for something that you just got to put paint and carpet in and maybe do a couple of repairs, and then do you refi LTV from like what, 90%?
Yeah, so typically paint and carpet is what I'm doing. Some kitchens, some bathrooms, and I'm transparent with the sellers as well. And I tell them, look, your property needs work. I can't pay full price and do a renovation. Otherwise, I'll just go on the MLS and pay full price. Like if I'm going to do
Hmm.
this renovation and take on this risk, manage the contractors, do all the vacancy and holding costs, there has to be a business case for me to do it. Otherwise, I won't do it. So, and I tell all the sellers that, and I show them their numbers. And if they were to sell to someone who's wholesaling or flipping or selling through an agent, like we walk them through the numbers. So and I try to get to that sweet spot where they're not paying an agent commission. They're basically giving me a slight discount to do the renovation, and they're not paying closing costs, and it's just quick and easy. They don't need to shop the property around to 1,000 buyers, and half of them don't close anyway. And so because of certainty, because I do all the repairs and take on all those costs, and I'm just going to operate the property long term. They want to work with someone like me. Plus, they're not paying realtor commissions. So there's like this really interesting niche space I found where um, I can get a discount that works, where I can get my capital back, and they don't have to deal with all the headaches, because it is such a hassle running these projects and paying commissions and doing the whole selling process. They could just sell quick and easy to me. I get a little bit of a discount. They get a higher price than selling to a flipper, and they don't have the headaches. So it's a win-win all around.
100%. Well, all right, man. Hey, again, I just want to thank you so much for your time, dude. And to come on here to add some value to our guests. Matthew, where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, sure. So you can probably link to my website on the podcast and the show notes, and then also Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and my YouTube channel. So we can probably link those. But yeah, I'm just pizonproperties.com is where you can find me. So.
Awesome, man. Hey, well, we'll see you next time here at the Real Estate Block Podcast.
All right. Thanks so much for having me.